Hey folks, good morning. I just want to do a quick video about a little shouldn't say little. All right, let me cough it out. I want to do a video about this Ringo, Creflo Dollar, and Brother Gilbert. So I like Brother Gilbert, and he has some kind of, I don't know what to call it. It's early in the morning, but and I've been up all night, and so I'm about to either go to McDonald's or whatever, but I might get something to eat, or because I haven't gone shopping yet, so I'm a little tired. But I just want to say this really quickly. I want to hit up on a couple of points. So I like Brother Gilbert, and I like listening to him. And so he has some kind of riff or tiff or some discrepancy or some kind of debate or argument with Ringo4Life. And I wasn't aware of it. I was watching it. But then I decided to go ahead and watch Ringo4Life. And I've actually seen his videos talking about Christianity and talking about Creflo Dollar and supposedly exposing Creflo Dollar, which I have a problem with because, and so I was trying to, I'd rather play the peacemaker, but there's something that does, and I don't want to jump on Ringo, but there's a couple of things that I watched after I watched his hour-long video on his page that I felt that was important enough to say or make a video of. And so I just didn't want to just jump on him because I like our Brother Gilbert's teaching or his videos, which I've watched for a long time ago. These brothers are very well spoken, including Ringo, and so they have a lot to offer, and I feel that Ringo does as well. But there was a couple of things in his video that once I watched it, and if you watch, that I kind of prejudged because I watched Brother Gilbert's videos, and he mentioned that Ringo is just disappointed because he was about money, and that he actually got involved with Creflo Dollar and went to his ministry and went down from New York to Atlanta because he was so involved. And from when I watched the videos, I almost saw a certain the way you said it, obsessiveness with this, and this really wanting to quickly gain knowledge and wanting to quickly get up on this and immediately and to see some changes, and that and so ever since then he has been creating videos. Since it didn't work out, he has been exposing Creflo Dollars and kind of bitter, mad, and angry about the amount of money that he spent, of maybe $100,000. And so I want to say a couple of things about it, and I just want to rattle off because this camera is very it'll cut off quick. It only gives me 10 minutes, which should be good. I should try to do that. One thing that I noticed, and this is a critique of Ringo, and one thing that I have noticed in your video after watching your hour-long video, and I have seen on other boards, is that immediately he rejected Christianity from the start. So he kept saying that I'm not going to somebody's church, in his neighborhood. And so this, if you read the Bible and if you claim that, and I'm not getting into the Hebrew Israelite things, but if you claim the Bible and its teaching, it does say, forsake not the fellowship of the Christian fellowship or the church. Forsake not that fellowship. Or even if you talk about Israelites and the Jews and the Israelites and stuff like that, I think there's a number of discrepancies that he has. So, but at the heart of it, I think that sometimes we are driven to upgrade ourselves and to consider ourselves to be better than somebody else, or to have a knowledge that somebody else doesn't have. And I really feel that if from the onset, that if you had communed with other people that you completely rejected and judged as, because of what they did or wasn't doing, I think that, to judge them and to set yourself apart for them. I think that if you had communed with them or went to your local churches or got involved in them, instead of judging other people's weaknesses who drink or have sex or still dealing with lust, and thinking that, that they were just supposed to click off and live a perfect Christian life. And I'll speak about that if I had time, about, having a name for Christianity, because there is a name for it. And basically, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. So you can call it the way if you don't want to call it Christianity, but there is a name for the group of people who believe in it, just like Satanists call themselves the path. There is a way. So he says, I am the resurrection. Most Christians don't, Christianity is a name, is a quickly to call it that. But just like you don't like to be called a black Hebrew Israelites, or don't like to be affiliated with the ones that are on the corner cursing out people, you shouldn't automatically judge every Christian or people who follow the way to be like Creflo Dollar, or about the money, or his ministry about the money. And on that point, you can't really even judge a Creflo Dollar as being a bad thing if it brought you to the realization of where you are in your own research and study. So there are certain good things about every level. And Jesus even judged all the churches and said there were good things and bad things about, to the church of this one, to the church of that one, to the angel of this church, and to the star of this. Certain were good, bad, and indifferent. They're not perfect. And if you would have probably found that out if you had gone to a church in your community, instead of going away to Atlanta and spending all of that money and stuff. Because quite honestly, there is no way that you can go broke giving tithe and offerings. It is never a part of whatever you want to call it, Christianity, the way, the church, or any foundation. You cannot go broke unless you listen to a complete false prophet who says, give me all your money. And then that should, common sense should, you don't have to read the Bible for that. I mean, if you read anything about Christ, it says give you all of his, it says give your money to the poor, if anything. And follow me, and that was him, so there's no way that you should ever be, you should ever deal with that. And if you, I have a friend, and I never understand the saying, she says, the good Lord gave you 5 good senses, he gave you 5 good, that doesn't make sense to me, but it's basically, you should use common sense and to know that, and as Brother Gilbert mentioned, to give out your rent money. And Christ then says, what he said is, Christ said, give that which is Caesar to Caesar. So pay your taxes and stuff like that, pay your rent, and you're obligated to honor those things. Whether the landlord does the work that he's supposed to do, your agreement was to pay the rent. Then you can go involved, but just, withholding the rent and stuff like that, that's questionable if that's the way you want to deal with it. But your agreement is to pay rent, So, I mean, that's your agreement, so to honor your word and things like that. Those precede all those other things. So So, and really, quite honestly, if you pay rent and he's not doing what he's doing, then you know what? The Lord is going to see that and handle and even the scales. You know, the Lord hates an unjust balance. You know, before you talk about how he hates people, you know, we could talk about how he hates certain actions and an unjust balance and things like that. So, you know, when it comes to Creflo Dollar, you know, the Lord is going to deal with that, you know, if there's an issue there. And quite honestly, the feds and everything else is trying to deal with them. And if they haven't found anything, then I don't understand how you could say that he's doing so many wrong things. You know, you chose to give him, you know, if anybody choose to give that, that's their choosing. You know, then you're just being, you know, 10% of your income, which is a tithe, has nothing to do with giving up all of your income and your rent money or taking trips and stuff. And as you said, vacations. You know, you went to vacations and went to hotels. If you were really that concerned, you could have went into one of the people who lived there and asked to live with them, and that you were so concerned about that church. And if they had said no, I think that would have influenced your opinion very early off. But if you had been, I just seem to sense this, I got some knowledge, or I'm better than those around you, and that's why you always seem to gravitate towards this kind of elitist religion. And I think Jehovah's Witnesses do that. Like, we are the true, complete faith, and we're the true Israelites, and we're the true Word of God, and stuff like that. You know, Jesus is the true Word of God. Every disciple have made mistakes and got stuff wrong. You know, Peter himself denied Christ 3 times, and Peter sure enough loved the Lord and was the only one willing to step out the boat. And even when he did step out the boat, he drowned. He almost drowned. You know, excuse me, I'm drowning in my own spit. But anyway, so there's no perfect, and people